Good morning. This is Ron Brown. It's Saturday morning, April 13th, 2024. Had a rough week in the market. I'm going to go ahead and use HCSI to take an in-depth look at what's going on or what has happened. This is called Determining the Underlying Structure of the Market Weekend Analysis. Remember, the market is your teacher. You see that every day, and I just like to emphasize that. As usual, any stock index or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell. All trading strategies are used at your own risk. If you don't have the software, you can get a 30-day trial without entering a credit card at highgrowthstock.com. It's an extremely powerful software program, as you'll see as I go through this video. Now, there are a lot of ways to look at the market, but I have a folder which I call Major Markets Plus, which I've created over the years. And I have two folders, non-index funds, which are updated every day, and then the market analysis user groups, which I use for market analysis, obviously. Now, I just updated the spider sector ETFs this morning with information from bar chart. Everything is current as of today. So if you're an Insider Club subscriber, when you download and install the add-on, all of this information is going to be up to date. And I did add the real estate sector spiders. Normally there's just 10, but this one is used a lot also. And I put this in with the spider ETFs. Now also, by doing this and adding the individual stocks, as you can see over here, there are indexes are generated. So these can be analyzed directly in the warehouse view, and I'll get around to that in a few minutes. Okay, here's what the broad markets look like. Let me bring that back up on the, want to make sure you know where I am in case you want to follow along here. Major Markets Plus includes some ETFs. So this is where I am right now. And I'm sorted on the raw combo, which is a percentage price change one day. You can see that the UVXY was up 12.7% in one day, 8.1% from the beginning of the week. And over the 5 days, you can see it was up 4.8, and 21 days up 12.5. So the bulk of this change came today. Let's bring this up. It's hard to see it on the weekly chart, but you can see that much of the gain was today, but it actually closed well off of its high. Now, bar chart doesn't provide the VIX. It does provide the Ultra VIX. If you want to see the actual VIX, use your Thinkorswim program. But this gives you the same information. I mean, it's a fear index, so you get a feel compared to when you compare to the rest of the market. If there's fear coming into the market, and obviously there is. This is the only green index on here. Now, looking down the list, utilities were down the least at 0.8 on one day, and over 21 days they're only down 0.05. But you can see where the real weakness is, or the strength, and there's not much strength obviously, just by looking at this folder alone. Now, I pay a great deal of attention, as you know, to the NASDAQ composite. If we look at this, it was down 1.6% yesterday, but going back 5 days, which would be a Friday to Friday close, it was only down 0.5%. Let me bring the NASDAQ up. This is a daily chart. If you look down here at the bottom, it says minus 1.62. If I hit my alternate W key and change it to a weekly chart, if you look down here, it says minus 0.45. Okay, back to the daily. Put it down here, and this is rounded off to 0.5. So this column right here is Friday to Friday for any of these indexes that are contained in this folder or anything using this field. Just remember, percent 5-day is Friday to Friday. Beginning of the week is the Monday open. So even though it was a terrible week for a lot of stocks, when you look at these numbers going Friday to Friday, it doesn't look so bad. Now let's take a look at this NASDAQ composite chart over the last several weeks. I'm going to bring up a rectangle here, and I'll just start about here. And look at this trading range this has been in for, well, here's a month, here's a week, here's another 2 weeks. So approximately 1 3/4 months we've been in a trading range, a pretty tight trading range. But there has been plenty of deterioration. I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to take a look at the Leaders Index, which I created back on February 9th. This was Leaders at the time. And this is a daily chart. And I'm going to drop down here to number 2, the context. And I want to show you that this index at this point, if I bring up the 3 and the 6, or if I bring up the crosshair, I mean, you can see that it crossed down below the 3 and the 6 right here at this point. The next day, the volume point of control went negative, and get down here, and it went below the 18 also, which is the brown line. So the Leaders Index has really rolled over. Now, what this index represents is the leadership stocks using my market leader scan, and I created this back on the, as I said, the 9th of February. So back on the 9th of February, which, let's see, where is February? Right here. The index was created right here, so you can see at that point it was very strong, looking down here at the histograms and the blue bars for pocket pivots and so on. So let's take a look at this index. I'm going to just change to the index group. You can see, I'll take the filter off. You can see that there are 270 securities in here, and at that time, on February 9th, this was the composition based upon sectors. Technology, 72. This still is a composition, but at the time, these were the leaders. And it was clearly dominated by technology. If I change this to the industry group, we can get a better breakdown of this. Application software, biotech was second. There's always a lot of biotech stocks in here, but you can see the semiconductors were a big part of this, as were the home builders. Now I'm going to grab a copy of this with a Snagit, and what I want to do is I'm going to go back into this, and I'm going to go to all securities. I'm going to hit my space bar and hold down the alternate key at the same time, and we're going to go into my daily prospecting scans, and we're going to take a look at the market leaders. Notice, and this leaders group, as I said, was created from this market leaders on that day. Now we've gone from 270 securities to 126 securities, which would qualify as leaders right now. So you can see how much this market has changed just based upon the number of leaders. Now what I want to do here is I want to bring up that spectrum analyzer again, and I'm going to bring this back over. Now let's look at the composition of the current leaders, and you will see that there are no, well, there's 2 semiconductor manufacturers now, and over here there were 7. I don't see any semiconductor devices in here. So you can see that this has totally changed over that 2-month period. This is market rotation. The largest group now is exploration and production because oil prices and gas prices have been going up, while the application software, is there any application software in here? There's 2, and there were 28 back here. So the leadership in this market has totally shifted. If you're looking to go long, or if you're going long tech stocks right now, it's obviously not a very good time because none of them are showing up in my market leaders group. Now, these are stocks that are down no more than 5% from their 52-week highs. I'm going to take a quick look at the sectors. Industrials, energy, healthcare. Tech has 10 in here. I don't know. I didn't capture the number in the other one. I can go back to it and take a look. But technology has certainly fallen off. But the industry view shows the dramatic change. Exploration production. Let's see if there were any in here. I don't see any in here back on that date. So if you're looking for technology stocks right now, obviously that's not the place to be, but that doesn't mean to say that they won't rebound. They could, but right now this is the way our leadership looks. Let me sort on this and you can see what's going on here. Let's do the sector here. I'm going to look for the tech sector down here at the bottom. There's that one semiconductor, Lam Research. And the semiconductor device is Qualcomm. Still holding up, it looks like. Just for curiosity, for those of you who are Insider Club members, I do track these market leaders right here in this folder going back a year. But let's just... I'm doing this on the fly. Let's see how this is going to work out here. I'll take the filter off. Let's go back to, actually I don't want October. Let's just go back to February. And I started labeling these market before I didn't have that information, or I didn't add the MKT, but I'm doing that now. But going back here, so you can see that on this date, the 8th of February, this is the way the market looked. And it didn't change much day to day. As I go down, notice the dates are changing here. There's still quite a few application software, but they're decreasing some. But I'm pointing out, if you want to actually see the rotation of the market based upon these industry groups, you can go in here, highlight that area, and then click your down arrow key, and you can actually see the market changing day to day. Okay, okay, when you go into a new month, you have to open this up and click on that. But what I'm trying to do is I'm going down through these quickly. I want to see, okay, exploration and production is showing up here. Let me go up one and see. It was showing up, starting to show up there. What is the date here? Exploration production. This is the 14th of March. Exploration and production. I want to change to the industry group, and let me see if I can. Here's the index. Let's bring the index up. And what am I on here? The 14th of March is where I currently am. So right here is the 12th, 13th, 14th. So we're starting to see these leadership stocks. Remember, these have to be within 5% of their 52-week high, starting to flow into the market on this day right here. And from there, you can see the exploration and production made a pretty nice run. My point of showing you all of this, if you keep track of these market leadership groups every day, and they do change every day, and I put them in with my information on the non-index files, you can really see where the strength of the market is, and that's a good place to look for prospects. Okay, in review, let me go back. I'm going to go back to my non-index files and the market leaders folders. And I want to show you something else. This is another way to determine if the market, how much the market is losing momentum. So going back here to the 1st of March, notice there are 270 stocks in here. As I go down here, it's down to 236, 250, holding pretty steady, 208 on this day. And clear, let's see, at this point here, that's on March 20th, there are 352 stocks. So the market has to be pretty strong at that point. And 366, 341, and then I go into April, 322, and you can see as I go down this list, 304, 219, 204, and yesterday 126. You can see the rapid fall off in leadership, which is a good indication that the market is in a weakening condition. Now I won't make another one of these leaders index until I see if the market is taking off again. This index has really served its purpose because it shows me that the leadership from back in early February has totally fallen out of favor, and now I can go into my market groups and see where the strength is. If you're looking for strength, and yeah, it's a little bit late maybe to be getting into the energy stocks now, but let's go back to that index and let's bring it up here and let's actually look to see where the crossovers occur. Look at all these blue lines here. These are volume pocket pivot lines. The 3 crossed the 6 here. It has not crossed back down. It looks like it's getting close to, maybe it's a little extended right now. But this date here is clear back on February 12th, where the crossover occurred. And then this was confirmed by the 618 crossover right here on this histogram. And finally by the 18 versus 50, the intermediate term right here, where it really started trending. And that date was February 29th. Okay, let's take a look at, I'm going to go into the indexes. The industries. I'm going to sort on, I'll do it this way. I'm looking for exploration and production right here. Okay, here's the information rather than looking at the chart. The 3 crossed the 6 43 days ago, 0 being the crossover day, and the VPOC crossed over 28 days ago after a slight pullback. Let's see if that corresponds with the chart. Here is a slight pullback right here down at the bottom. Right there. on this candle, and then it turned positive again. But this is going back, I'm sorry, right here is a crossover day. But that information is contained in my warehouse views in these columns right here. So you can see when the strength comes in, you can just look at the industries every day and look for crossovers. So where do we stand right now? I've sorted on the days since the crossover. There are 13 indexes that are positive, and only, well, there's 6. Well, these have been positive for quite a while, but the main index is right here. What's leading the market? You can see it right here. It's exploration and production, mining services, base metals, and so on. And this is all based upon my 3-6 crossover and the volume point of control crossover also. Let's take a look at a related group, the integrated oils index. Pull back here and then a crossover here. It really hasn't looked back. If we go into the group top down, change to the industry group, we can see where the leading stocks crossed over. So that's why I pay so much attention to these crossovers. Exxon crossed over 40 days ago, which would be right here. And it hasn't looked back. What happened on that day? Well, there was a volume pocket pivot. There were 2 VPA flags, strength coming in and a confirmation of strength. Effort to rise, 3 VPA flags. Effort to rise, low volume test. This is 3 above the 6 all the way. And all of these blue lines are volume pocket pivots, and look at all the efforts to rise. There's one negative flag here, but the trend is clearly up because the 3 is well above the 6. And now we're starting to see some profit taking here. So when you see an index crossing over, look, just go top down and see which ones are crossing overs. Those are the leaders at the time. Those are going first. Let's go back one more and then I'm going to end this. Exploration and production. Go to the industry groups. Inter Plus, Devon, Magnolia. This is true top-down prospecting. Inter Plus was the first one to cross over. And that was clear back here. Huge day. Volume pocket pivot. Effort to rise. Then it digested those gains and then it took off from there. Now I'm using the 2 chart. I do have this in here. I put this in a while back. It's 2A. Some of you like to use the force index. This is the 10-day force, which is comparable to the VPOC, or volume point of control. You can see that the 10-day force and the volume point of control on this stock turned positive the same day, and they've stayed positive. Let me go back to the warehouse view. Okay, I'm back at the, I want to go to the integrated oils again. I want to look at this mobile, and you can see that these, they aren't exact, but they're pretty close. But anyway, the force index 10-day is in here also as just another visual to see the strength of the market. Now, as the histogram gets higher, that means there's more force, and you can compare it to, or just look both of these visually, the force 1010, or the VPOC 1010 and the force 10-day, and it'll help keep you in stocks if you happen to get in. But these crossovers are very important, and looking at the market from the top down like I've been doing here is very important too, because you can see actually what's going on, and make sure that you look at these industries and look for the crossovers, see where the strength is. Okay, I'm going to end it at that. I threw a lot at you today, but I'm just trying to show you how powerful this program is. Rather than just looking at the NASDAQ composite and so on, there's so much more to HGSI that you can use it for to find out where the real strength and weakness is. Thank you for listening. Have a good weekend.